Hello again, friends. Now, our scene looks like this. And when we click on the render button here, which is the teapot icon, the render screen will appear. Look now, I'm pressing render, and a render screen has come up. As you can see, it's rendering. What do I see in the render? I can see the sun coming in. A slightly dark environment. In the background, my LED lights are visible, but I think in the previous file, there were some parts that were left adjusted. I will show you how it's done. What is our goal here? The goal is to achieve sufficient lighting in the scene. Friends, this screen is the frame buffer screen. The frame buffer screen allows me to see the render I've done in V-Ray and to achieve sufficient saturation here with the layer section on the right. Look, friends, it's not about the light, but about achieving saturation. So what does saturation mean? Contrast. Exposure, meaning you can think of it as balancing out the settings, if there are any explosion settings. The denoisers are also on. Normally when there isn't enough light in the scene, it ensures that when there are stains, those stains are removed. Friends. So we won't be doing anything with this part so far. But the part we will be working on is when we bring our light to sufficient saturation and adjust the textures, then there will be a setting here. So you can think of it like Photoshop. On the right side of the frame buffer, there might be a section where adjustments are made, just like in Photoshop. It's happening. You can think of it that way here. So you can think of it as the tone mapping and balancing part. The other part is the section of the screen we've already seen. What do we see here? Actually, here we see that a black area indicates that the room is not fully lit. Our logic is this, and our solution is low. Look, the solution is low, friends, and I can throw these solutions from where. My first point is when I come to the settings section and get to the cross icon. Look, there's the render output tab here. Friends, render output tab. I'm going step by step because increasing the resolution is important for me. The resolution of 800 by 450. I can't give it to anyone. I can't give it to the teacher. If I'm working commercially, I can't give it to the client. I can't give this to anyone. From the image section, you can do this. I'm showing it as an example. I set it to 1920 by 1080. This is the normal resolution of the image we've taken, which is 1920 x 1080. 16 by 9. I'm pressing the render button. Look, I've come and set it up. I pressed the kettle icon and the render is starting. Look what happened. The screen got bigger, friends. My render resolution increased, and it's better for me to see the scene. Now I can see the scene better. Actually, the increase in render resolution is causing the render time to extend. Normally, while I used to take a render in just a few minutes, now the time is actually getting longer, friends. Because look, the render image section here is getting longer. Here, it shows past 20. Look, it says past 20. This number increases. A pass actually refers to the calculation time for the amount of light coming in. Normally, when the light coming from the sun or a light source enters here, it gets included in a calculation. That calculation is called a pass. Look, it's reached up to past 32 here, so past 27 has now become 32, and it's still going. The more passes there are, the more the amount of light inside increases, and the clarity improves. Now, because the amount of light is low, the render engine is actually struggling a bit, to be honest, because we don't have enough light. Now, I'm closing this here. What did I say at the beginning of the topic, guys? I mentioned rectangle line. These are the auxiliary light sources, and we need to add them. We'll do that in the next section. Here we see the resolution increase, and there is a quality pull at the top. So when I increase the quality pass, you can see that the settings here change. Look, I'm changing the settings, and the settings here are changing. When do I need to do this? I'll do it when the processes are finished. Guys. When the processes are finished, I can set my ambience, my light, and all kinds of scenes to settings like high plus or high. And lastly, since the render time will be long, I need to adjust them this way. Guys, and since the render time will be long, I need to adjust them this way. In this lesson, we have seen a general setup section. In the next lesson, we'll see how saturated the light in the frame bumper we got here is, along with the auxiliary light channels.